Good afternoon, and what is a cool, grey and blustery day. It is Monday the 13th of November, and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue opening, continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is a sheath, a handful of releases for Free RPG Day. Now, 2023. Now, you may be wondering why I'm unboxing those now. Well, that's only because I've only been able to come into possession of them this last weekend when I was at Grogmeet. Now, what typically happens with Free RPG Day is that Dave Salisbury at Fanboy 3 in Manchester provides me with titles which I can unbox and review and support my channel, and I'm very thankful that he does that. Now, he wasn't able to this year, or at least not as many as normal. Thankfully, Fee and Paul all rolled up, came through with some of the rest that I was after, so I can unbox and chat about and then review the rest that I have not yet done. So I've already done Peking Dog, Good Doggos, and Taste of the Moon for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Already done Adventures in Rakugan, Storm Eel's Rest, Heist at the Museum, which is a heist scenario from Loke Battle Maps, again for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and again Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, Animal Adventures Adventure, the Faraway Sea, Apocalypse Meow, from Steamforged Games. So what I've got next is Hacksaw Dell Quick-Start for Root, the role-playing game, which is based upon the board game. So, war has returned to the Woodland. The Marquise de Cat led her armies to victory over many of the clearings, but the Eerie dynasties rise again to oppose her, and the mice, rabbits and foxes of the Woodland do not sit idly by. The Woodland Alliance emerges a homegrown rebellion to free the Woodland from any oppressors. In the midst of this war, you and your friends, vagabonds all, travel between clearings. You take on jobs that no one else will or can do. You choose whom you serve, if anyone, and you may tip the balance of the war. Root, the role-playing game, is based upon the award-winning Root, a game of woodland might and right board game by Leader Games. In Root the RPG, you play vagabonds, going on adventures and changing the woodland with your actions. This booklet is a sampling of the core rules of Root the RPG, complete with 6 pre-generated characters, an entire pre-written clearing to give you a strong starting situation for a few sessions of play. Open the booklet, give it a read, pick some characters and get playing. All you need is paper, pencils and pairs of 6-sided dice. So, that is Hacksaw Dell Quick-Start for Root, the role-playing game. As you can see, the artwork is fantastic, and it's going to be like that all the way through the booklet. Now, this is published by Magpie Games, and Magpie Games has been very generous in supporting Free RPG Day over the past few years with releases for Root, the RPG, and I think this is like the 4th release from the publisher. And what's great about it is that each release is different. Each release includes the rules, but it also includes different characters and a different clearing for the player characters to involve in the events of, and essentially bring about change for good or ill. Because the idea in Root is that each clearing is a situation. There are factions, personalities, all with different motivations, often at cross purposes, as well as alliances with outside factions. The aforementioned Marquis de Cat, the Eerie dynasties, and the Woodland Alliance, some are neutral, and how the player characters interact with those is going to influence and change the balance of power, not just in the clearing, but potentially outside of the clearing as well, between those big factions. So we have now this is a Powered by the Apocalypse role-playing game. So we open up with a description of the basic moves that all the player characters can do, an explanation of the booklet, basic contents page there, and credits there. An overview of Root as a setting. This is going to be standard more or less across all of the quick starts that Magpie Games have published. But you can see again how good this art is I mean, yes, it's anthropomorphic. Yes, it's fantasy. Yes, it's kind of cute, but look carefully, and it's not. You know, you've got a character there with a skull, but the stories and situations are adult in tone and nature. So we have a guide to choosing the characters and their typical moves and what the players can expect from actually using them as player characters. And you know, basically looking at their playbooks, because every character is presented as a playbook, as a series of options which are ready to play, and you just tick off an option to start with, and you might earn an option or two perhaps through play of this quick start. So you've got a list of characters there, the vagabonds, who they are, and you know, some things like their background, drives and nature, moves, weapon skills, roguish features, how they're tied together. We've got these really still, you know, great illustrations, and they've got a guide on how to play. And essentially, that involves rolling the 2 6-sided dice, rolling as high as you can, so on, whether or not to see whether or not you fail or you succeed with a complication, or you succeed. So descriptions of all the different moves that the player characters can undertake. Some of them are specific to their playbooks. So you know, you've got basic moves, weapon moves. So basic moves, you know, like figure someone out, persuade an NPC. Weapon moves, engage in melee, grapple on an enemy. Reputation moves, ask a favour, mark notoriety, mark prestige, and so on. Harm tracks is basically tracks the sort of damage and what it does to you over the course of the game. And then equipment and treasure is what what you might find and what you use during the course of the game. Then we have sort of like what happens if you lose a player character, a vagabond, a reference to the game master, how NPCs work in the game, and then we get into the meat of the scenario, the situation, which is Hacksaw Dell with advice on how to use the clearing, its description, what the player character will see at first sight, because that's just on the surface. This is what they will see upon arrival, what they will notice. If they dig deeper, and they should, they will start discovering these conflicts. So, you know, here we are, the different conflicts, detailed, explained, lots of information for the benefit of the game master. Then we have a breakdown of all the different NPCs and inhabitants of the clearing and nearby. You know, so you know we do have devoted lizard cultists, and then just the same thing for important places. Not quite as detailed descriptions, but enough, certainly more than enough. Special rules for the location, which include lean times, scarcity, and the assembly of denizens. And then a starting point. Where do you begin with all of this information? Because all of this is playable content up to here, but this is how you play it. From where to begin. Before we get a description of the playbooks, where to begin is really just setting things up and and then after that it's player led. So we have an arbiter who is just looks like to be a mole. We've got a lizard champion, a frog envoy, a noble fox, and I think it's a red jay or something like that. A thief, and basically, I'm not quite sure what he is, but there we go. He is he's definitely a vagabond, a vagrant. And then you've got a list of all the advances which the player characters can sort of take, or in there as well. and you've got a breakdown of all the weapon moves at the ends for reference for the Game Master when she's running this. So that's Hacksaw Dell Quick-Start for Root, the role-playing game. Really nice, sturdy product, really nice production values, great artwork, well written, I'm sure, because I've looked at the others. And if you're a fan of Root, the board game, you're going to want to look at this. If you're a fan of the role-playing game, you're definitely going to have a look at this because it provides you with content which you can bring to the table quickly, because you don't have to do the adventure with the pre-generated characters in there. They're a bonus. You can run it with your existing group, not a problem. So yeah, that is Root, the role-playing game, Hacksaw Dell Quick-Start from Magpie Games, released for Free RPG Day 2023. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box, typically containing a book or a game or a role-playing supplement, or in this case, a quick start released on for Free RPG Day 2023, which I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.